Right from in the rhythmic flow we fly, through the darkness we soar high. Drone explores, searching the skies, seeing what we can't see with naked eyes.
The Cathedral Church of St. Peter and St. Paul, Sheffield, also known as Sheffield Cathedral, is the cathedral church for the Church of England Diocese of Sheffield, England. Originally a parish church, it was elevated to cathedral status when the diocese was created in 1914. Sheffield Cathedral is one of 5 Grade 1 listed buildings in the city, along with the Town Hall, Abbeydale Industrial Hamlet, and the parish churches at Ecclesfield and Bradfield. The cathedral is located on Church Street in the city center, close to the head of Fargate. Construction of the earliest section of the cathedral dates back to c. 1200, with the newest construction completed in 1966. The building is an unusual mixture of medieval and modern architecture. The site of the cathedral has a long history of Christian use. The shaft of the 9th century Sheffield cross, believed to have formerly been sited here, is now held by the British Museum. It is probable that Sheffield's parish church, a satellite of Worksop Priory, was constructed here in the 12th century by William de Lovatot at the opposite end of the town to Sheffield Castle. This established the area of the parish of Sheffield, unchanged until the 19th century. This church was burnt down in 1266 during the Second Barons' War against King Henry III. Another parish church was completed in 1280, but this church was mostly demolished and rebuilt about 1430 on a cruciform floor plan. The Shrewsbury Chapel was added in the next century, and a vestry chapel, now the Chapel of St. Catherine, was added in 1777. The north and south walls of the nave were rebuilt in 1790 to 93, and a major restoration by Flockton and Gibbs, which included the addition of new north and south transepts, was completed in 1880. The church was originally dedicated to St. Peter, but from some time after the Reformation into the 19th century, it was dedicated to Holy Trinity. It has since been dedicated to both St. Peter and St. Paul. The parish of Sheffield was subdivided into smaller parishes in 1848. The church is still the parish church for the smaller parish of Sheffield, but in 1914 it was also made the cathedral church for the newly created Diocese of Sheffield. Plans were drafted by Charles Nicholson to extend the church and reorient it on its axis, but due to World War II, these were greatly scaled down. The resulting additions leave the church an awkward shape and plan, but with an impressive south elevation. During the early hours of 17th of July 1979, a major fire broke out in the bell tower of Sheffield Cathedral. The fire began inside the belfry, and subsequently spread down the tower to the ground floor and upwards to the clock room. At least 35 firefighters from Division Street Fire Station tackled the fire, narrowly preventing the destruction of the cathedral spire and containing the lower portion of the fire to the bell tower and surrounding structures. Thousands of pounds worth of damage was caused by the fire, which destroyed several of the cathedral's bells, including one dating to the 16th century, and much of the clock mechanism. Additionally, burst water pipes caused flooding of the choir stalls, adding to the damage. In the ringing room, fire damage was severe, with all records of the cathedral's bell ringers dating back 600 years completely destroyed. Despite severe damage to the contents of the bell tower, the structure of the cathedral ultimately suffered only mild damage, and the building was never in danger of collapse. The cathedral was back operational by 26th of July 1979 at the latest, according to photographs showing the ringing of the remaining bells on this date. Following police investigation of 2 phone calls made to the Sheffield Star newspaper the previous evening, warning that the cathedral was being set on fire, the cause of the fire was determined to be arson, although no perpetrator was ever found. A fire broke out at Sheffield Cathedral during the evening of 14th of May 2020. Emergency services were called to the cathedral around 18 BST after smoke was spotted coming from the side of the cathedral facing Campo Lane. The fire was attended by South Yorkshire fire and rescue crews from Sheffield's Central Fire Station on Eyre Street and extinguished by around 21:40 the same evening. The cathedral was empty at the time, and there were no injuries.